Here we go. This is a big one. Buckle up. Gabe Medina, John John Florence, quarterfinal, Heat 4, must-win situation for both of the former world champs. Owen Wright had some poetic retribution on Gabe Medina, who beat him in 2018. Here we go with Medina. Low to the board, solid in the stance, comes out of the barrel, no problem. You could tell the technique he is able to employ for.
Taking a look at this first one from Gabe Medina, and again, you see he's looking down the line, trying to understand where that speed control. He saw his hands almost go down. It didn't actually put the brakes on. He just let it go and stayed through the whole way through, and gets two rips off the top too. Engaged in this one.
You can see how low he starts and pumps through there, and then goes high for the exit, and then always mindful of putting a nice little bow on it to wrap it up with a couple of turns.
So true. And again, looking at it right there from the reef, looking in, you can see that 2, 3 foam balls he had to glide up and over. So stable on his board. He definitely rides, for his size, higher volume style surfboards, and it's perfect for this type of surfing here and gliding over those foam balls. And still so strong to be able to just rip into it with that extra volume.
Hurries it up. John John Florence on the back end, not able to find an exit there. Early advantage to Gabe Medina. Medina again drops in right underneath the hook, balancing on the foam ball, finds the exit there, and Medina's off to a quick start. We've seen the quick starts pay off in the past, and it looks like Gabe Medina, that's his playbook right now. Started off with an excellent ride in my book. We're waiting for 2 scores for Gabe Medina this year as opposed to previous years. Here's a replay, second wave.
So again, just able to manage the speed on his forehand so well. One of the best at it. You know, the way he takes off, you know, that's almost a stalling technique. He waited until that wave was almost over the top of him and then just drops into the barrel. So again, maximizing barrel time. He's in the barrel basically from the takeoff, and that's what you can do on your forehand. And then again, control. He's actually stalling by stuffing the nose of his rail into the wall. It actually slows his board down. Again, another technique to be able to maximize barrel time.
And you can see this board. We've seen Gabe Medina in competition against John John Florence score a perfect 10 and still lose a heat. That happened in 2016 when these two met up against each other. But Gabe, voracious, more appetite for a barrel, and yet another make. Maybe a couple of turns there. I don't know if that's going to be one of his top 2, but the guy's so solid out here. That's why he has a 77% heat winning percentage in Tahiti.
Which he's doing one time here again, and this is a pretty good barrel. I mean, he was technical, he was small, but he had to get the right speed to go over the top of the little foam ball, and he saw that there was that little crease. Look at, and there's ribs across the face, and he just perfectly paced. He wanted to do an air right there. The lip wasn't quite there. Put against him, so he's going to have to wait for a solid one.
Here he goes. Way behind on this one. Oh, and a bit of a crumble there. And he hands over priority to Gabe Medina.
Well, he's going to make it harder for himself by doing that. As you watch again. Oh man. That was a replay there. That was another offer that came right after.
Gabe Medina, you combine high heat IQ with incredible talent, and that's how you get the 3-time world champ. Here he goes, Medina. Pulls in, travels through that section. More section comes through, no problem again for Gabe Medina, having a field day at Taupo. The momentum goes your way, and that's what's happening to Gabe Medina. Look at this again.
And to be honest, I look at that wave and I'm like, it's not really actually a score. It looks like to me with priority, but that's not how he surfs heats. He likes to ride waves and create opportunities, and he's done that once again. And this could be better than the 617. You know, again, technical barrel riding, up and over the foam ball. The wave gets really hollow in this section, and he's super deep. And then gets a stylish, making the difficult look easy. John knows well and clear the only thing that he's going to be able to do right now when he makes a decision, it's got to be on a wave, in an excellent range of some sort.
Here goes Gabe again. I guess what's going to happen this time? Doesn't make it for the first time in this heat. Finally does not make it out of the barrel. John John Florence side slips into this one, gobbled up by the foam, fights for the finish, gets an exit, back in the game, kicks out early and wants to regain priority.
But it just didn't have that girthy feel to it, right? It was always filled up with foam. Of course, he's going to pull it off. Would have loved to have done that on his first wave. Let's see if this had some opportunity. Pulls it, just jerks on that rail. That was a wave that could have been a wave to potentially get him out of combo. He was there, and it seems to me that he wasn't really wanting to hang on to priority. He just liked riding waves. But at some point, you got to get super serious. And John.
And fights for an exit there, does not get it. John John. Deep on this one, no tube on offer. He's going to continue to search. And Gabriel Medina in his search for that final 5 placing. Here's John. A little bit of just sniffing that one out. No opportunity there for John John. Here he goes. Tucks in right off the takeoff. Second section for Medina. Threads through there. Little stalling. Third section for Medina. Floats it through there. Wisely kicks out. Saves the fins.
That saved the whole board. That would have been just straight onto dry reef. You saw it there bubbling. So incredible. Really, truly incredible. He took off in the barrel. In the barrel. Takes off. Little tight hole to get into, and then just weaves his way. Even sees the opportunity to stuff it back in the hole with the double arm drag. E-brake. Gets it done. And wow, that forehand attack is so solid because he just has such great speed control. He can just pick up instantaneous speed to run through sections and then instantly slow down.
The brake and the gas pedal right here for Gabe Medina. Steps on the gas, hits the brake, steps on the gas, hits the brake again. Talk about parking it.
Oh, that was Newport parking right there. He's got it all figured out. Exactly the right speed, the right turning, the right radiuses, everything.
John John grabs the rail, pulls up, hangs through that first section, looking to get out of combination with that effort. What's he going to need to get out of combination? We can't give you that answer yet because we're still waiting for last score for Gabe Medina to set this situation.
Watching the technique of John Florence, see how tight he got into his board, on top of that board, just to keep himself nice and small for the barrel. It helps with speed control, obviously. Has that arm on the wall, you can see it release. Just such great technique. Two contrasting styles, it's obviously because of the backhand and the forehand, but both at the top level in regards to how they barrel ride. Best tube riders in the world, these two. And that's why they're always touted to be some of the best at places like Pipeline. And right here on this reef at Te Aupo'o.
Medina, priority, again, right under the hood. Trimming through here, driving through the barrel. This time he does not exit. So priority to John John. John John's got his work cut out for him. Last score for Florence, a 5.5. John John does have priority. His choice, here he goes. Pulls in, first section, clears that first section. Cannot find the open air at the end, however. Here we go with John. Tidy little barrel. High line exit and kicks out. Gabe Medina going excellent in his quarterfinal appearance.
He's not going to give up yet.
This is for fun. And it's just going to be a ride in for Gabe Medina. He'll get to the channel, get to his ski, and prepare himself for semifinal number 2 as this clock winds down, Pete. There's the numbers into the semifinals. Speaking of semifinals, women's semifinals, when we return, it's going to be Tyler Wright up against Caroline Marks, Joe and Flick. They'll talk you through the action. Stick around.